Hi, my name is Adesh Yardgar, and last year I was in your shoes. The second I found out that I had an interview with Deloitte, I started gearing up for a battle. A battle to acquire as much information so that I could do well on my interview. I absolutely had to get this job offer. I had spent countless number of hours studying for so many courses, going the extra mile because I knew I had to keep my grades at a decent level. I had worked so hard to get to this point, and now that I finally had an interview with the Big Four firm, I did not want to mess this up. First thing I did was go on the internet and start searching, as you're probably doing right now. I came across a lot of information, too much information in fact, and I did not know what to believe and what not to believe, which interview questions to practice and which interview questions not to practice. Oftentimes I would come across a website that would show you a list of questions, but provided no answers that I could practice from. Do you know how frustrating it is to create an answer for an interview question and then sit there and wonder if this is what the hiring manager at Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, or EY is looking for? Not only that, there was always a little voice at the back of my head asking, what if the question that I had found on a random website online is not even a question that Big Four firms ask? Am I just wasting my time? Another issue was conflicting interview questions or tips. For example, one website would say, in your interview, be extremely professional and get right to the point, while another would say, be casual and easygoing, make them like you. These conflicting tips can get frustrating because I just wanted to prepare for my interview and not waste valuable time worrying if the information being presented on the internet is correct. Honestly, I was lost, confused, overwhelmed, and scared. Scared that I would screw up the most important interview of my life. 2 days before my interview, I realized that I had spent the entire week just reading tips and trying to verify interview questions on the internet. I was starting to panic. So I reached out to a family friend of a friend who was at Ernst & Young and had worked at PwC before. His name is Robert Prescott, and he is the co-author of this book. I pleaded to Robert that he help me practice for my interview. We spent a lot of time with interview questions that he had observed and him providing me with extremely valuable tips that I had not seen anywhere else. In the end, the hard work paid off and I did very well in my interview and was subsequently offered a position. Thinking back, all the awesome tips I had found fragmented all over the internet were absolutely useless. And if that was all the preparation I had done, I would have not received a job offer, but a very polite rejection letter. I was lucky to have a wonderful resource like Robert to tap into. If you have that resource, click the X button on the top right-hand corner of your browser and call them. However, if you're like most people and don't personally know someone that works for a Big Four that can actually spend time and sit down with you and reveal the interview questions, best way to answer them, and provide you with winning insider tips, then this guide, Accounting Interview Domination, is for you. Accounting Interview Domination is the most complete guide to absolutely dominating your interview with PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, and EY. In this guide, we will go over the actual interview questions utilized by Big Four accounting firms with the best way to answer them. You'll also receive the exact answers to the interview questions that Robert and I have used ourselves in the interviews, not best practices as you see on the internet and other sources. There is a difference. Best practices just gives you points, but exact answers shows you those points in action. We'll also show you the secret winning interview preparation combo that you must know to perform well at a Big Four accounting interview. You can't get this anywhere else. You'll also receive access to Robert and myself, and we will answer any specific interview-related questions that you may have. This means that you'll receive immediate access to a senior manager at Ernst & Young and PwC, and a co-op student who has worked for both Deloitte and KPMG. You'll also get key success guide to the pre-interview get-together and dinner, how to make a lasting impression during the interview and 10 tips for success, a 12-minute video of me going over the core competencies that Big Four interviewers look for, and how to behave to hit those competencies across the board. This year, 5 of my friends and 3 of their friends had interviews with the Big Four accounting firm, with one that had interviewed with BDO Dunwoody. I provided them with the Accounting Interview Domination Guide and 7 of them received offers. That is an 87.5% success rate. This means that you are 87.5% more likely to obtain a job offer after reading and practicing the actual Big Four interview questions, answers, and insider secrets presented in the Accounting Interview Domination Guide than if you were to do it alone. In fact, one of them had less than stellar grades and no previous work experience whatsoever. Still, he managed to receive a job offer. Don't waste valuable time surfing the internet for fragmented piece of information that may or may not be relevant to your Big Four interview. Don't waste valuable time trying to verify if that random website on the internet is providing you with actual tips and interview questions relevant to your Big Four interview. Don't waste valuable time practicing interview questions that will never show up in your interview. Don't waste valuable time preparing answers to interview questions and wonder if the answer you came up with is what the HR manager at PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, or EY is looking for. In fact, this is one of the best reasons for you to get accounting interview domination. We provide you with the exact answers that Big 4 HR managers are actually looking for. Not only that, look over my shoulder as I show you the actual answers I used to get my job offer at Deloitte and KPMG. Moreover, Robert shares his actual answers that he used to obtain a job offer from PwC and EY. Therefore, for each interview question, you'll not only have one sample answer to choose from, but two or more. Accounting interview domination is the most complete guide in helping you to absolutely dominate your interview with the Big 4. Check out the testimonial section of the site to see what people think about us. I worked very hard on developing this guide because firstly, I could not spend the many number of hours I needed to thoroughly prepare each of my friends that had an upcoming interview with the Big 4 firm. Therefore, I wanted to make this the most complete and only guide anyone will ever need to absolutely dominate their Big 4 interview. I am very confident about this book. So confident that I stand by with 100% no questions are asked, take to the bank guarantee. I personally guarantee that if you make a diligent effort to use just a few of the techniques in this course, you'll obtain a job offer with KPMG, Deloitte, EY, or PwC. That's right, a job offer that you may have never gotten without this course. If you don't, I'll refund the entire cost of the course to you. Actually, you get double protection. Here's how. At any time during the next 3 months, if you sincerely feel I fell short in any way on delivering everything I promised, I'll be happy to give you a complete refund, even if it's on the last day of the 3rd month. You now have a decision to make. How will you prepare? Will you randomly surf the internet for fruitless interview tips and sample interview questions? Or will you purchase a proven guide written by a Deloitte KPMG co-op student and a highly experienced accountant that has worked for EY and PwC and has performed as secondment in the HR department of a Big 4 accounting firm? Whatever decision you make, we wish you the absolute best of luck in a successful interview.